You can't convince no nigga to snitch. If he was gonna snitch, he gonna do that when he woke up, whether he watched the commercial or not. How much information have Tip ever given any police to get anybody locked up? Zero.
You let me know everything else.
Really, Jay don't tell nobody.
But lately, he has been.
He's quite the conundrum.
Because there's people that don't pay attention to him that know everything he's doing now.
I will disagree with that.
I will not.
Oh,
I'm talking about the youth.
What's up, what up, RIZZLE fam? Everyone knows by now that the YSL squad is behind bars since they've been smacked with a big old RICO case earlier this year. Rumors about new possible angles on the case are spreading like wildfire, and the word got to us too. To a lot of people's surprise, there's a chance that T.I. might be doing some snitching on YSL and Young Thug. Now, that's a tough claim for everybody, let alone T.I. You shouldn't just go around tossing snitching accusations if you know what's good for you. So let's get to the bottom of this whole T.I. rumor thing and see if this is all cap or if there's some sense to the story and if Young Thug reacted to this in any sort of way. The Atlanta rap scene took some serious blows this year. 2022 seen a lot of rappers getting locked up. Gunna, Young Thug, and 26 other YSL members, they're all facing RICO charges. This RICO case might not even be the only one, according to the authorities. We might see as many as 2 more cases coming in soon. The fact that this is happening right now made quite a lot of noise on the internet. It just seems a bit weird of how all of a sudden the police are busting rappers by the dozens. This sparked the imagination of everyone interested in current affairs. What if someone is helping out the cops? Someone on the inside who knows the rap game well? Well, some believe there are rappers who are involved with helping the cops out by telling on other rappers. This probably lies behind the rumors that came about T.I. being a snitch. It started after a tweet came out. It was a pretty famous blog that does all sorts of news coverage, music industry included, and it's called Gossip of the City T. The tweet didn't explicitly call out any names, but it did tease everybody with the idea that there is a rapper out there who is aiding the police in their efforts to make Atlanta a better safe for the community. It goes like this. A rapper is helping the Atlanta Police Department take down everyone because he don't like how Atlanta has turned out. It was supposed to be a place for blacks to thrive. Ever since this tweet was posted, the comments about who the rapper is responsible for talking to the police have been exploding all over the place. To some, the tweet spells troubles. Others find it to have a little significance, honestly. Perhaps the most important question you should be asking yourself at this point is, why should anyone trust this source? It's Twitter, for crying out loud. Well, according to a couple of people who've been doing online media coverage, this channel is trustworthy. The person behind it has been spot on with all the info shared on the blog. Not to mention, they've been known to drop some knowledge on a couple of topics even before they go viral. This was such the case with the passing of Kevin Samuels. Granted, there's been a snitch working for the cops, but who would it be? There's a lot of ATL rappers out there, and anyone could be telling. People have more than one candidate for the snitch, but the majority of people believe it's T.I. The comment section of the snitching rumor has been flooded with comments like, it's gotta be T.I., since it's the first name that comes to mind when it comes to ATL and rappers. As you can imagine already, T.I.'s name's been dragged all over social media because of that. Some of those same people who believe T.I. is the one to blame were quick to make jokes on his account. Just take a look at this tweet. T.I. equals top informant. TIP, telling in progress. Guess he's king of trap music. Others, however, think this has gone way too far. There's no way that anyone other than the person who wrote the tweet could know more about who the snitch is, if there even is one. I hate the people just throwing random people's names out just because they've spoken out and wanted better for their city. Only person that knows a name is the person who made the post, but y'all go off. But let's assume that he is snitching. Why T.I. though? Why would he do such a thing, and why does he come to mind first out of all these other names? Well, he's been known to the ATL community as someone who wants to make a change in the community. He filmed an ad for the so-called Crime Stoppers, a nonprofit program which fights crime by collecting information about possible suspects.
Hey, what's happening, y'all? Some people call me Tip, but this is about another kind of tip that can help our mothers, our sisters, our brothers, and our fathers help get the perpetrators who commit crimes against them off the streets. All you gotta do is call Crime Stoppers Atlanta.
But that's not the end of it. T.I. also had an appearance on Live News where he spoke on how Atlanta needs to be safe and protected. This might come as a surprise from some of y'all, but T.I., he's been at it for a while. He's been actively trying to reduce the crime rate of the city for quite some time. On his social media, he went as far as calling Atlanta Wakanda. If you think about it, this could as well be sufficient reasons as to why someone would conclude that T.I. really is a snitch. But is one Crime Stoppers ad and one news appearance that advocates order and safety enough to make him suspicious so much that he's now a snitch? Isn't this kind of taking it too far? There are a couple of points that can be made in TIP's defense.
And when everything else goes away, when you don't get treated right in New York, when you don't get treated right in LA, when you can't get treated right in Detroit, when you don't get treated right in St. Louis, when you don't get treated right in Alabama, Atlanta has been here for us. This city don't deserve it. However, I understand that a lot of others do.
For starters, T.I. has been pretty tight with Young Thug for years. They've been making music together, and everyone knows that they're friends. Their joint track About the Money was the beginning of it all. Since then, they've collaborated a bunch of times. Plus, you really can't make a strong argument that T.I. supports the system. If anything, he is opposing it strongly. What would make him rat out a couple of brothers to the police if he doesn't agree with what the police represent? Hell, he's even been to jail himself. He's been locked up for over a year for gun possession charge. That kind of goes against the idea of T.I. as a snitch. Many people say that he filmed the commercial for the Crime Stoppers simply because that was necessary in order for him to get a reduced sentence. If it weren't for that, TIP probably would never done that stuff. However, everyone has a change of heart every now and then. Perhaps we just don't have enough details to make a sound judgment. Maybe T.I. was offered some sort of deal by the feds that he couldn't turn down, but only time will tell. What's also worth pointing out is the fact that there are other names like Killer Mike that are also being tossed around that he could be the snitch. Since the rumor only says that it's an Atlanta rapper, it could be plenty of other people. You know what I'm saying? Killer Mike is actually a real activist. He's been the one of the most prominent figures in the ATL community in the recent years. He's been fighting issues like social inequality, police brutality, and systemic racism. It would seem natural to assume that he is the one talking to the police though. Well, maybe. Yes and no. On one hand, everyone remembers his emotional speech after George Floyd got killed by a police officer. If you're against the police killing your black brothers, then why would you ever in your life help them out by working with them? That's just goofy. On the other hand, even though he doesn't do music anymore, he was a rapper at one point in his life. Any successful rapper from ATL knows very well that you gotta rap if you wanna make it in the game. Therefore, Killer Mike might be a hypocrite. If he is one, well, that means he may as well be working with the popos. At the end of the day, though, it's all a matter of perspective more than anything else. Same thing that was said for Killer Mike can be said for T.I. Who knows why either of them would do such a thing? We're not trying to accuse TIP or Killer Mike for telling here. We're simply saying what the general audience believes. Since there's been no name dropping or hinting, that could be anyone in Atlanta, honestly. Some of the comments on YT made that clear. There's nothing wrong with wanting violence to stay out of your community. People have to grow up. But what are y'all thoughts about the possibility of T.I. snitching on Thugger, YSL, and maybe even others? Do you think he told on YSL? Do you perhaps think that maybe some other rapper out there did the snitching? And if so, who was it? Let us know what you think down in the comments section below. If you like this video, make sure to check this next one out. And as always, remember to keep it RIZZLE.